100 historically black colleges and universities, many private, many public, bragging that they provide a supportive environment where their students are more likely to succeed than in mainstream schools. But when one gets a failing grade, talking about an HBCU, an entire community steps in to raise the grade. $30 million in debt, struggling to keep the doors open and keep a 128-year-old campus alive. Morris Brown College, one of the nation's oldest historically black colleges, founded after Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. Morris Brown proudly boasts it is Georgia's first educational institution fostering the spiritual and intellectual growth for African Americans. Among its alumni, civil rights activist Hosea Williams and Pulitzer Prize-winning author James A. McPherson, who later graduated from Harvard Law School. So much history, part of the lure for students like Asia Robinson. She says her 3.5 high school GPA made her eligible for full scholarship to Ohio State University.
I can actually go to almost any school I want to, but I decided to stay here.
She and just 160 other students. Barely 8% of the 2,600 students enrolled at its peak 6 years ago. Morris Brown is now a shadow of its former self. What happened? A number of things. Embezzlement of federal education funds under previous leadership in 2002 cost Morris Brown accreditation, along with federal and state funding. And just last winter, life on campus for the handful of students here got even worse. A $380,000 unpaid water bill dried up services in the dorms.
We need all the donations we can get from all the big-time people to even the small-time people. I mean, like us as students, we even hit the corner at the time when the water situation hit.
Money was so tight, the college missed a payment, and lenders foreclosed on one college building.
It really did not help Morris Brown College. You don't want to ever lose any of your assets.
Thousands of dollars in gifts from celebrities and churches have helped a little to keep lessons going for just two majors, business administration and education. Sophomore Bernard Hill, like most students, is on an 80% scholarship. He transferred to Morris Brown and thinks the $1,400 he pays out of pocket for a year at this school is money well spent. The financially embattled college can't find a bank to restructure its multi-million-dollar debt, so it still isn't financially stable enough to win back its accreditation. Still, President Pritchard is committed to finding ways to keep the doors open, even if it means only a handful of students are helping to keep this campus alive. All right, so we wanted to know more about how private and public institutions are doing in good times and bad. So we're joined by Alvin Thornton, the interim provost of Howard University, a private school federally funded in Washington. Dr. Anthony Frank is the interim president of Colorado State University, a public school in Fort Collins, joining us from Denver. Good to see both of you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, well, let me get an idea from you first. You know, Mr. Thornton, we talk about Morris Brown not doing very well. An entire community of HBCUs has really come around Morris Brown to make sure that it lives. Why is it so important, and what is it about an HBCU that's offered that perhaps mainstream colleges and universities do not?
Well, first of all, these colleges educate a disproportionate percentage of the children of African American descent that are educated in this country. And so that is a national purpose that these colleges serve. When I think of Morris Brown, I don't necessarily think of Morris Brown per se. I think of what the state of Georgia needs and the city of Atlanta needs and the southeastern region needs. That is that you have a large percentage of African American children, particularly, who are not graduating from high school and are not going to college. So what the state of Georgia needs and southeastern America needs are institutions like Morris Brown surviving, doing what they have historically done, that is enrolling these children, maturing these children, and graduating these children. So you have a national, a regional, and a local need that schools like Morris Brown are the only types of schools who've shown the willingness to serve. And so what we need to do is rally around this school, nationally, locally, and in terms of private support, and help this school to rehabilitate itself.
So when we talk about survivability, not just for the institution, it is survivability for the student as well. So, you know, Dr. Frank, I wonder from you, underscore how important it is that there are so many different kinds of choices for students of today.